Module 3.2 Rizal's Intellectual Sustenance.
Rizal, who is known for being thrifty, sometimes to the point of stinginess, proved to be more lax in spending his money when it was for something purposeful, such as the distribution of his books, which were written for the Filipinos to understand and be exposed to the harsh realities caused by the Spanish tyrants. In his letters to Mariano Ponce, Rizal asks his friend to send copies of the Noli Me Tangere to Manila, even if these are not paid for, and tells him that he will willingly shoulder the cost of sending copies of the novel to Hong Kong, just to make sure that more Filipinos would be able to read it as he had written it for them in the first place. Moreover, having known that Rizal perceived the gift of education to be of great significance, he often found himself allotting his money to literary work as these contributed to his knowledge, even though he admits in a letter to Blumentritt that he does not seem to finish reading the whole book. Similarly, he announces his desire to go to Vienna and buy himself a whole library, proving his willingness to invest in anything that will allow for himself and his people to learn more. From these, we can infer that although Rizal had a frugal side to him, he would gladly expend his personal savings for something purposeful, even if it meant having less to spend for his basic needs such as food. In relation to what was previously mentioned, it can be assumed that Rizal sets aside a budget for learning experiences and that he prioritizes these in his expenses. When he was in Paris, he barely ate decent meals due to the particularly high cost of living. Despite this, it seemed that Rizal managed to set aside some money to pay for the admission fees of all the different museums, exhibits, and other sites he visited. Moreover, when he was in California, he asked Mariano Ponce to send him the complete works of Mariano Jose de Lara, using either the money that was collected from his book sales or by covering for him, emphasizing how he was in a hurry to read these masterpieces in order to catch up with the language. These were just some of the many instances where he chose to spend his money to further educate himself instead of just saving them, despite having already experienced financial hardships and days when he would have little to eat. Further, this idea is attested by one occasion wherein Rizal was sick and was examined and diagnosed by Villa of a sickness due to the vegetarian diet he had imposed upon himself on account of his financial difficulties. This only proves that Rizal, even to the point of risking his health, would still prioritize saving his funds for educational purposes.
End of Module 3.2.